Why is open broadcaster think there's audio coming out when there's no audio at all? Fuck you Windows, fuck you Windows. You're such a piece of shit. Hello, everybody. Hey, everybody. How's it going? So today, we are going to be figuring out if my audio is out of sync. Is it in sync? Out of sync? Oh, I don't know if I can trust you. I don't know who you are. Do we trust Uncle Tucka? Okay. In sync or out of sync? You son of a bitch. GTFO. Okay. Travis, you too? You too, Brutus? Oh, so you're gonna make me check it now, damn it. Mother flower. Boo. Hey everybody, how's it going? So today we're going to be fixing a MacBook. This is an A1466 MacBook Air that has liquid damage. Before we get started, I'd just like to give a big shout out and thank you to Paul Daniels. Paul Daniels is responsible for the multimeter software that you see me using on the screen that shows up above my head, as well as the board view software that I use for figuring out where things are on the boards. Before Paul Daniels, I used to use software that was absolutely awful that I believe stopped production in around 1995 or 1996 called Landrex TestLink. But thanks to Paul Daniels, Open Board View, and Flex Board View, my life has been made easier, as well as the lives of my employees. I highly suggest that you check out his software on pldaniels.com. That's pldaniels.com. That being said, we are going to get to this machine and try and figure out what is wrong with it. So, let's open it up and see what's going on with this MacBook and see if we can make it work again. David Boyd says Eli has 970k subscribers. Eli who? Eli what? Explain like I'm 5? Eli? Congrats on the 1 million. Just watch the video. Why, thank you. It's very kind of you. A little sound didn't go through my speakers like it usually does, which means I'm probably going to miss those because something is not working. Yay! What the hell is up with my audio? Ah, I see what it is. My Bluetooth is out of range because it's 3 feet away instead of 1 foot away. Yay! Here's the piece of shit USB Bluetooth dongle that I have for sound. Great. Oh, dash ducks. I gotta take a note of that. Somebody take a note of dash ducks and remind me later, because that would be a lovely little item to get for my kitty cat. We could set it up so that every time somebody donates $1, Clinton gets a greenie. A greenie. He knows my voice at this point. When I go, a greenie, he knows that he's about to get a greenie. All right. What do we have here on this MacBook? Okay, we're going to turn on our power supply. Have the power supply as well as the multimeter software show up on the screen. Thank you to Circuit Specialists for the power supply and the power supply software, and thank you to Paul Daniels for his multimeter software. Let's just turn on the multimeter software, turn on serial mode on the multimeter, and get that stuff showing up on the screen. A big thank you to Paul Daniels for creating some of the best software that I've ever had the privilege of using in my 30 years on Earth. Thank you, Paul Daniels. Bug-free, peer-reviewed. Okay, as you can see, there's no green light on the charger. That means that the first thing we need to do is check PP3V42_G3hot. PP3V42 is the power rail that's going to power the circuit that allows the computer to speak to the charger. The computer needs to speak to the charger before the charger light will turn green. If the charger light doesn't turn green, the machine's not going to act as if we plug the charger in, and nothing's going to work. Let's open up a schematic for this machine and go through it. Now, you may wonder, how do I know that I need PP3V42 in order for the charging circuitry to work? And that's an excellent question. Let's look it up on a similar machine that I have a full schematic available for, so that you can understand why it is that I want a PP3V42 to be present before I can do any real work on the machine. So, here we have our charger. This is going to be a charge port on the board of a different machine. And we can take a look at that in the schematic. If you take a look here, you'll see that there's 3 things. We've got 18 volts. We have ground, and we have adapter sense. Adapter sense is going to be responsible for sensing the adapter. It goes to this chip, which has several pins. It has ground, boring, external, like the charger is outside the machine, external from the machine, and internal, like it's speaking to something inside the machine, like an SMC chip. And here it gets the power it needs to turn on. The power it needs to turn on comes from this chip. This chip is going to allow PP3V42_G3hot to pass through if SMC BCACOK is present. If you don't have PP3V42_G3hot, this chip can't do its job. Now, what is a sys1 wire thing, what it speaks to? That is a line, a data line, bidirectional data line, that's going to go to the SMC. And the SMC over here is another chip that's going to be powered by a happy, friendly neighborhood power rail, PP3V42_G3hot. So if you take a look over here, when I click, you'll find the SMC chip over here. And the SMC chip is a chip that's powered by pip342 underscore G3 hot, which is a power rail that we need. Now, the reason I showed you this on an older board is because in the MacBook Air, that one-wire circuit is not on the motherboard, it's on the separate DCN board, for which I do not have a schematic. However, I'm able to ascertain that it's the same design because it uses chips that look identical, and it still uses a MagSafe. So, let's just take a look on the schematic and see if we can find where pip342 underscore G3 hot will be present using Paul Daniels' lovely software. Now, we're just going to go to the Power Rails page on the schematic. It's got my list of rails. Right over here. Look at that. Look at that happy list of rails. And wow, the machine just turned on in front of me and just chimed. Isn't that lovely? Let's see that again. Okay, that's interesting. Well, it's kind of working already. So we fixed it by staring at it. That's the power of having 1 million subscribers and a social media platform. Once you have 1 million subscribers, you're what's considered an influencer. And once you're an influencer, you can do things like just influence the board to work again, simply by sitting in front of it and talking in this voice. That's right, folks. Don't delay. Become a YouTube influencer today on social media platforms. And then you can have MacBooks that sit in front of you just like this one, that didn't work, that took 20 milliamps, that take 500 milliamps, for no good reason. Influencer. Now, seriously, we have to figure out what's going on with this, because that's kind of bullshit. I can't give this back to the customer like that. So PP342 is going to come out of this power rail over here, L7095. So let's see what this section of the board looks like. PP342 is going to come out of here, so we've got the charger power coming in through here. Charger, 18 volts, 18 volts. 18 volts goes in. It goes to chip. Chip makes it 3.42. And let's see if the chip is a happy chip or a sad chip. Oh my. Well, that's a little bit sad looking. Let's take a look at the rest of the machine and see what's going on with it. See if it looks sad or not. I could get used to being an influencer. I'm going to influence the corrosion right off this board. Influencer. Influencer. I'm going to influence these allergies right out of my sinus. That would be something good. Excuse me, I'm going to go blow my nose since I haven't figured out how to influence my sinuses back to pre-allergy condition. Alright, now I'm back. I'm an influencer. Influencer. You know, it'd be really cool as an influencer. I like to. I should go up to that landlord at 124 West 30th Street and say, you know what, you want me to influence some people that want to invest in your building? Hey, contractor, you want me to influence some people to use your company? Can you trade in this whole influencer thing for anything that's actually worthwhile? I don't want a free stay at some shit 3-star hotel or... what I would really like. I'd like free rent for the next 10 years. Can I influence that? Can I go to the Department of Buildings and say, hey, I'd like my permit expedited for this storefront reconstruction? I'm an influencer. I'll get a lot of exposure for your bureaucracy for construction so that people will stop putting paper in front of their windows and doing all the construction illegally without permits. Influencer. Influencer. Think about it. Think about it. Do you think I could go to the Department of Buildings and say, I'm an influencer? You should expedite my permits so I influence people to stop putting brown paper on the front of their storefronts when they do construction illegally because you take so long?
It's worth a try.
It's actually worth a try. Yeah. Let's convince people that you don't have to break the law in order to do basic construction in New York City. Which is what everybody does. Every time I see some new deli or bodega or some shit, like I always see the brown paper up. Some music blaring inside so you can't hear the construction going on. That's the sound of New York. That's the sound of New York. I think they lost a tiny screw. Yeah, all these screws that go in here are too long. Nah. Somebody must have opened this before. Alright, so we're going to take a look over this entire board, see what's going on here. DC in board. One-wire circuit chips. That's the chip that powers the chip that allows the charger to speak to the SMC. This is the chip that actually allows the charger to speak to the SMC. What the fuck? Thank you. How is this so stable?
It's $30.
This fan sucks. Come at me, bro. Oh. Did I actually get it? Attack me and get burned. Congratulations to losing Korea. This is the most non-threatening way possible. May you get everything you deserve. Thank you. Yeah, it seems like my Bluetooth disconnected, so then it defaulted to something which made feedback from my desktop audio. Oh, that sucks. I need a way to connect this to my app. Oh, excuse me. I'm not going to be able to hear when a donation pops up, so shit. I'm not a component of a board tech. I'm a software developer consultant. I found your channel to be both relaxing to listen to as well as informative. Why, thank you. So this is not it. Very mild stuff by BIOS. That's not going to affect green light. Mild stuff by what I believe is PP1V05 or RAM power by RAM. So most likely our not working was due to nasty shit in this area. So if we clean this area, the PP342 area, it's likely going to work just fine. Yeah, see? All this thing needed was a Q-tip. And just a little bit of influence from a professional influencer. No soldering next to data for the day, for today. Influencer. Wait for this thing to rapid cool. Being an influencer is harder than I thought. It still does the same thing. It only turns on after I influence it. See, I had to remind it that I was an influencer. It wasn't drawing any power until just then. Something strange going on here. WTF, 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 WTF. Yeah, this is not how this is supposed to work, see? Did the dude with the special MacBook respond to your random repair cleaning offer? Nope. As somebody posted, the original poster on Reddit will always disappoint, guaranteed. So this doesn't make... Watch. I tap it. 0.1 volts. Nothing. PP3V42 is not being created. Do we have 18 volts coming in? We have 18 volts coming in. So our PP3V42 regulator is delaying somehow. So it's taking a few seconds before it turns on after you plug it in. So I'm going to repeal and then replace the PP3V42 regulator with a better one. An influencer. Yeah, I really thought that I was an influencer there for a second, but that was a bunch of horse shit. No, the board still didn't work. It was just fucking with me is all. This board was fucking with me. Congrats for the million. Thanks for being genuine. Seems like a rarity. Why, thank you. Can't cut. A greenie. Why, thank you, Pam M, for that kind comment. I'm going to influence this chip to work, even though it's chipped. It would not be called a chip if the wood did not have a chip, though. This chip is going to work. Going to engage it. Look at that. Alright, now we're going to see if this thing turns on quicker than before. Don't give me some stupid delay. 1, 2. I attach you. Okay, that's a little better. Still on the slow side. Okay, turn off. Alright, 1, 2. PP3. Turn on. Is PP342 present? Yeah, and that's just the multimeter being slow. Alright, that's good. So as you can see, we managed to influence this board to work again by staring at it. I'm going to ultrasonic that corrosion off because it could be causing some of the funkiness and some strange symptoms down the line. But that's it for today. We fixed a board through the magic of having 1 million subscribers on the internet. As always, I hope you learned something. Influence. For the guy that just asked this question, take a look at the Amscope SE400. Last time I bought that 5.5 years ago, and the Amscope SE400, when I bought it, was $175. I should have a link in the video description down below, so do check that out. See you in the next one.